On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected.
Thank you to all our amazing channel members for your generous support.
She wasn't just a movie star. She was a survivor, a fighter, and a woman who turned pain into unforgettable performances. Shelley Winters was born on August 18, 1920, in St. Louis, Missouri. As a child, she struggled with dyslexia and shyness, yet she dreamed of standing under bright lights and being seen. Her rise was slow but unstoppable. In the 1940s, she worked in small roles while studying acting seriously. Then came A Place in the Sun in 1951, where her heartbreaking performance earned her first Academy Award. She proved it was no accident when she won again in 1960 for The Diary of Anne Frank. Between those wins, she shocked audiences in films like The Night of the Hunter and later terrified a new generation in the Poseidon Adventure, showing she could be dramatic, tender, or frightening, sometimes all at once. Behind the fame was a woman who carried deep scars. Shelley spoke openly about surviving abuse in her youth, something rare for her time. She married 4 times, including to actor Vittorio Gassman, but often said her true marriage was to her work. She also became known for mentoring younger actors, quietly helping many find confidence when they were just starting out. Shelley Winters died on January 14, 2006. She was 85 years old. She passed away at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after suffering from heart failure. The woman who had played so many dramatic deaths left this world quietly, surrounded by the city that had once doubted her. The reaction was immediate and emotional. Actors, directors, and critics shared stories of her kindness, her fire, and her fearlessness. Many called her one of the bravest actresses Hollywood ever had. Tributes flooded in, not just for her talent, but for her honesty about pain, aging, and survival. Today, Shelley Winters is remembered as more than a star. She is studied as an actress who refused to be pretty and silent. She chose roles that hurt, that bled, that mattered. From tragic lovers to broken mothers, from victims to villains, she showed that women could be complex, flawed, and powerful on screen. She didn't chase perfection, she chased truth. And because of that, her voice still echoes long after the curtain fell. A velvet voice, a shadowed smile, and a presence you never forget. Today we remember the man behind unforgettable villains and heroes. Alan Rickman was born on February 21, 1946, in Hammersmith, London. His father was a factory worker who died when Alan was just 8. Before acting, Alan studied graphic design and even ran a design studio, proving early that he was both disciplined and deeply creative. His rise came later than most. After years in theater, everything changed in 1988 when he played the elegant villain Hans Gruber in Die Hard. One role, one performance, and suddenly the world knew his voice. He followed it with heartbreaking depth in Truly, Madly, Deeply, then quiet nobility in Sense and Sensibility as Colonel Brandon. But for a whole generation, he became eternal in 2001 as Severus Snape in the Harry Potter films. Over 8 movies, he turned a bitter, mysterious man into one of the most emotionally powerful characters in modern cinema. Off-screen, Alan Rickman was intensely private. He shared his life for over 40 years with Rima Horton, finally marrying her in secret in 2012. Few people knew that he kept detailed journals, writing honestly about fame, fear, illness, and art. Those pages later revealed a man who doubted himself often, even when the world praised him endlessly. Alan Rickman died on January 14, 2016. He was 69 years old. He passed away in London after a quiet battle with pancreatic cancer. Most of the public didn't even know he was sick. He left this world the same way he lived in it, without noise, without spectacle, just dignity. The reaction was instant and emotional. Actors, writers, and fans filled the world with memories. Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and countless others spoke of his kindness and guidance. Fans returned to his films, replaying his scenes, listening to that voice again, realizing how deeply it had shaped their love for movies. Today, Alan Rickman is remembered as an actor who made every word matter. He proved that villains could be human, that quiet roles could be powerful, and that kindness didn't need applause. On stage and screen, he brought intelligence, sadness, humor, and grace into every character he touched. He didn't just act, he lingered. And even now, long after the curtain closed, his voice still echoes in our hearts. Some faces belong to a moment, but his belonged to forever, carved in smoke, shadows, and unforgettable final lines. Humphrey Bogart was born on December 25, 1899, in New York City. His parents were well known in art and journalism, and as a child he once said he wanted to become a doctor, not an actor. His path to fame was slow but steady. In the 1930s he played tough guys in dozens of films, often as side characters. Then in 1941, everything changed with the Maltese Falcon. His sharp voice, tired eyes, and calm strength created a new kind of movie hero. The very next year, he starred in Casablanca. One film, one airport, goodbye. And suddenly, the world had a new legend. "Here's Looking at You, Kid" became more than a line. It became history. In 1951, he proved his range again in The African Queen, winning the Academy Award for Best Actor. From crime films to romance, Bogart showed that strength could be quiet and heartbreak could be subtle. Behind the camera, he was different from his tough roles. He loved sailing and named his boat Santana. He found real happiness late in life when he married actress Lauren Bacall in 1945. She was 19 years younger, but their love was strong and playful. Friends said Bogart softened around her, laughed more, and finally felt at peace. He also loved chess and could sit for hours thinking silently, just like his characters often did. Humphrey Bogart died on January 14, 1957. He was 57 years old. He passed away in Los Angeles after a long battle with esophageal cancer. His illness had weakened him greatly, but he kept working as long as he could. In his final months, he grew thin and quiet, yet still carried that familiar calm in his eyes. The world felt the loss immediately. Newspapers across continents printed his face. Actors called him irreplaceable. Fans rewatched his films, noticing how every pause, every glance, every word now felt heavier. His funeral was private, but the mourning was global. Today, Humphrey Bogart remains the symbol of classic cinema. He taught the world that heroes don't need to shout, they can whisper. He shaped the image of the modern leading man, strong but broken, confident but lonely. His films are still studied, quoted, and loved by new generations who were not even born when he died. He once played men who walked away into fog, shadows, and uncertain futures, and in a way he did the same. But legends never truly leave. They just fade into black and stay there forever. Some voices fade with time, but his still echoes, angry, tender, broken, and brave, across screens that refuse to forget him. Peter Finch was born on September 28, 1916, in London, England. He later moved to Australia as a child and grew up in difficult conditions, often feeling unwanted and alone. His rise to fame came through raw talent and restless drive. In the 1950s, he broke through with the film A Town Like Alice, winning international praise for his quiet strength. He proved his depth again in the trials of Oscar Wilde, playing the troubled writer with painful honesty. But his most unforgettable moment came in 1976 with Network. His character, Howard Beale, stood on television and shouted what people were afraid to say. The speech was fire, it was fear, it was truth. Finch had created something rare, rage that felt human. Away from the spotlight, Finch was complicated. He was born Peter Mullins, but took the name Finch from his stepfather. He struggled with insecurity his whole life, often hiding it behind confidence and charm. Few people knew how deeply he feared being forgotten, even as he became famous. Peter Finch died on January 14, 1977. He was 60 years old. He suffered a massive heart attack in Hong Kong, where he had traveled to accept a film award. He passed away suddenly, far from home, just months after filming Network. The world did not yet know that his final role would become his greatest. When the Academy Awards came, something historic happened. Finch won the Oscar for Best Actor posthumously. He was not there to accept it. His widow accepted on his behalf, and the room stood in silence. Never before had an actor won the top acting award after death. It felt less like celebration and more like a goodbye. Today, Peter Finch is remembered as a man who poured everything into his work. He didn't chase beauty, he chased truth. His performances still feel alive, still uncomfortable, still honest. Actors study his scenes, writers quote his lines. Viewers still feel his anger, his pain, his hope. He once played a man who shouted so the world would listen. Now he is quiet, but somehow we still hear him. She looked like America's sweetheart, but behind that warm smile lived strength, courage, and a quiet fire that never faded. Donna Reed was born on January 27, 1921, in Denison, Iowa. She grew up on a farm, milking cows before school, never dreaming she would one day shine on Hollywood screens. Her rise to fame began in the 1940s with small studio roles that slowly turned into big moments. In 1946, she became unforgettable as Mary Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life, the woman who showed George Bailey what love truly meant. In 1953, she stunned critics in From Here to Eternity, earning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Then came television. In 1958, The Donna Reed Show made her a household name, showing a smart, loving mother who quietly ruled her world with kindness and strength. Behind the perfect image, Donna Reed was far more than a TV mom. She was deeply political and spoke out against the Vietnam War, helping create the group Another Mother for Peace. Many fans never knew this side of her. She once said she didn't want to play women who were only decorations. She wanted them to matter. Donna Reed died on January 14, 1986. She was 64 years old. She passed away from pancreatic cancer in Beverly Hills, California, after a long and private battle. Even near the end, she remained graceful, choosing to keep much of her illness away from the public eye. When the news broke, Hollywood paused. Co-stars, directors, and fans spoke of her warmth and quiet power. Reruns of her shows filled television schedules as if the world wasn't ready to let her go. Letters poured in from people who felt she had raised them through a screen. Today, Donna Reed is remembered as more than a smiling face. She was a woman who crossed film and television with ease. A woman who played love, strength, and dignity without shouting. Her performances still feel gentle, honest, and human. New generations still meet her through black and white films and cozy living rooms on old TV sets. She once showed the world what a wonderful life could look like. And long after she's gone, she still reminds us how to live it. He carried elegance in his voice, fire in his eyes, and pride in his roots wherever he went. Ricardo Montalban was born on November 25, 1920, in Mexico City, Mexico. As a teenager, he moved to the United States and learned English by watching movies over and over, memorizing every line he could. His rise to fame began in the 1940s when MGM signed him as one of its first major Latino stars. He appeared in musicals, dramas, and adventure films, standing out with his deep voice and commanding presence. In 1956, he gained wide attention around the world in 80 days. But his most legendary moment came decades later. In 1982, he returned as Khan in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. His performance was powerful, emotional, and unforgettable. Then came television immortality. From 1977 to 1984, he became Mr. Roarke on Fantasy Island, welcoming guests with the famous line, "Welcome to Fantasy Island." Every week, millions watched him guide dreams, heartbreak, and hope. Behind the spotlight, Ricardo Montalban lived with quiet strength. After a serious spinal injury in 1959, he spent years in pain and eventually needed a wheelchair. Yet he never allowed it to define him. He continued acting, speaking, and inspiring. He was also a proud advocate for better representation of Latino actors, often speaking about dignity and respect in storytelling. Ricardo Montalban died on January 14, 2009. He was 88 years old. He passed away from heart failure in Los Angeles, California, surrounded by the city that had been his home for most of his life. When the news spread, tributes came from every corner of the entertainment world. Actors, directors, and fans remembered his voice, his grace, and his strength. Star Trek fans shared his scenes again. Fantasy Island reruns felt different now, softer, more emotional. Today, Ricardo Montalban is remembered as more than an actor. He was a bridge between cultures, a man who showed that dignity could be powerful and kindness could be strong. His roles still feel alive. His voice still echoes. His presence still commands attention. He once invited the world to dream. And even now, he stands in memory, welcoming us to the stories he never truly left. She taught actors how to tell the truth on stage, and in doing so, she quietly changed modern acting forever. Uta Hagen was born on June 12, 1919, in Göttingen, Germany. Her father was a classical musician, and as a child she grew up surrounded by music, theater, and disciplined creativity. Her rise began early. At just 18, she appeared on Broadway, already showing a rare emotional depth. But her defining moment came in 1951, when she starred as Georgie in The Country Girl. Her performance was so powerful that she won a Tony Award, beating out Hollywood legends. Years later, she stunned audiences again as Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, turning raw emotion into unforgettable art. Beyond the stage, she became one of the most influential acting teachers in history, training stars like Al Pacino, Liza Minnelli, and Whoopi Goldberg. Away from the spotlight, Uta Hagen lived for teaching. She believed acting was not pretending, but being. She carried a notebook everywhere, writing down how real people moved, spoke, and felt. Even in her later years, she still walked into classrooms with fire in her eyes, demanding honesty from every student. Uta Hagen died on January 14, 2004. She was 84 years old. She passed away from complications of bone cancer in New York City, the same city where she had built her greatest work and inspired generations of performers. When the news broke, theaters went quiet. Actors, teachers, and students shared stories of how she had changed their lives. Broadway lights dimmed in tribute. Former students spoke about how one lesson from her stayed with them forever. Today, Uta Hagen is remembered not just as an actress, but as the soul of modern acting training. Her books, like Respect for Acting, are still studied around the world. Her words still guide trembling young performers onto dark stages. She taught courage, she taught truth, She taught that acting at its best is simply being human. She never chased fame, she chased honesty. And because of that, her voice still whispers through every great performance we see today. She once ruled silent cinema with a single look, and today her name whispers from a world that has faded into shadows. Esther Ralston was born on September 17, 1902, in Biddeford, Maine. As a small child, she was already performing on stage, touring in theatrical shows before most children even learned to read. Her rise was fast and dazzling. In the early 1920s, she became one of Paramount's brightest silent film stars. She stunned audiences as Mary Magdalene in Cecil B. DeMille's epic The Ten Commandments in 1923. Then came leading roles in films like The American Venus and Children of Divorce, where her elegance and emotional presence made her one of the most admired faces of the decade. Away from cameras, Esther lived a quieter life than many stars. When the sound era arrived, she struggled with the transition and slowly stepped away from Hollywood. Instead of chasing fame, she reinvented herself, working as a successful hat designer in New York, creating beauty in a completely different way. Esther Ralston died on January 14, 1994. She was 91 years old. She passed away from natural causes in Palm Desert, California, far from the flashing lights that once followed her every move. When news of her death spread, classic film lovers and historians shared her story again. Old photographs resurfaced. Silent film communities honored her as one of the women who helped build Hollywood before it even knew what it was becoming. Today, Esther Ralston is remembered as part of cinema's foundation. Her films still play in quiet theaters and online archives. Students of film study her expressions, her posture, her ability to speak without words. She reminds us that storytelling once depended only on eyes, movement, and emotion. She lived through fame, change, and silence. And even now, in black and white frames, Esther Ralston still looks back at us, alive in a world that time could never completely erase.